What's up, everyone? Welcome to my humble channel where we're going to go into what you drink on a keto diet, on a carnivore diet, on a low carb, high fat diet, on a standard American diet, on a vegan diet, on a fruitarian diet. But really, let's focus on a low carb diet because that's where skirt the rubber hits the road and people are having chronic dehydration. I've done probably 10 videos as of recent times easily. So go check the next video at the end because I'm doing all that stuff now. Because if you don't, nobody finds you. Yeah. You guys are doing low carb diet, keto, carnivore, or you'll go between the two, or you'll do the snake diet, or you'll fast, or you will be doing 1 meal a day, and you are heavily at risk of tanking your electrolytes. That's sodium. The main ones are sodium, potassium, magnesium. Sodium, potassium, magnesium. Those are the main ones, and then you have calcium, but it's really sodium, potassium, and magnesium. And your symptoms are so freaking weird, words cannot explain. Since, let's say, magnesium is connected to over 200 enzymatic responses that are also connected to your hormones could tank because of being chronically dehydrated. Or in my case, I developed melasma all over my skin. It was really, really bad. And here I am now with horses, and as you can see, most of my melasma is gone. Now, that's hyperpigmentation of the skin. When I first started developing like really dark spots on my face, forehead, everywhere, except for the body, it's mainly on your face. I didn't know. I did not know what it was, and it was somebody who called me out in one of my videos. You have melasma. I was like, no, I don't. Crap, I do. And I didn't know why, and it was because I was magnesium deficient. It's pretty crazy. Now, you can research that to hell and high heaven, but you won't find it. It is my assessment based on me making sure I have magnesium every day, and now my skin stopped hyperpigmenting. That just shows you the importance of your electrolytes. You can also quantify this in just instead of just looking at things in terms of minerals, but also your water intake. What do you drink on a carnivore diet? Well, really, you should be drinking water. You can drink broth, that does count as water. And I don't mean bone broth, I'm talking meat broth. Teas are diuretics unless you're doing a tea made with like lemon squeezed in it or apple cider vinegar. That counts. But any type of diuretic, tea, herb. Of course, we don't drink coffee. Milk, you can't drink on a keto or carnivore diet because we're trying to drive ketosis and there's way too much sugar in milk. Um, Juices, we don't do orange juice unless you're doing low carb, high fat. Then you could do like fresh berries or and things of this nature blended, and it is well, no, because then that would be a smoothie, and I'm so against smoothies. I'm thinking about something that's going to hydrate you. But technically, the video is like, what can you drink? Technically, you can drink that. Herbal teas have tannins. Be very, very careful. Sometimes they can rob your body of minerals. So that defeats the whole point of trying to balance your minerals if you're depleting them with by eating nuts or drinking teas that are high in tannins. So look into that yourself. I'm just letting y'all know what you can drink and why. The main focus of this video for me is really water. So people will begin to ask me about bubble water. The problem with that is that it doesn't, as far as I know, doesn't like leach the calcium out of your bones per se, but it does dilute your stomach acid. And it's so filled with air, you don't really hydrate yourself. If you're going to have bubble water, don't count that as your total water intake for the day. That's just for pleasure here and there. All of these types of drinks where they're like, oh, we add electrolytes. No. You're going to try to get your electrolytes always from food first because we don't trust food made in factories and drinks or whatever in factories anymore where the quality control is not there. Okay, so no coffee, no freaking protein shakes. Unless you're going to do sort of a stuffed style like the carnivore latte where you do hot water with egg yolks and butter. It's not really going to hydrate you, so it's more for the fat and a little bit of protein rather than hydration, but you can become hydrated a bit on that since I'm really factoring the electrolytes. A lot of people don't like plain water, but that's really what you should be drinking on anything that's low carb. Basically, when you eat carbohydrates like pasta, rice, potatoes, anything with sugar, this is going to increase the cellular volume of fluid. In the cell, you hold on to minerals. And minerals like magnesium, potassium, even sodium will dump immediately that you're not eating anymore a carbohydrate, right? So for every one bite of carbs, and I do it in bites because we can do it in grams, 1.0 your body can hold up to, or 1.8, your body can hold up to 4.0 grams of carbohydrate, or in bites, one bite or 4 bites of water. And that's the reason why when you look at people, they're really puffy, they're really swollen, and also no wine, no alcohol. I don't care. Any pure alcohol is going to make you hypoglycemic. This is not approved. People will tried to make this stuff approved on a ketogenic diet, but it was just hyperbole and people trying to make money off of people's desperation to get healthier, lean, or whatever. Okay, so well, let's continue. Water really is what you should be drinking. Like I said, the bubble water, mineral water, there's not a lot of minerals in it, but we really, really want water. And that is because specifically the dehydration problem. If you're doing a lemon water, that counts. If you're doing apple cider vinegar shot in an 8-ounce glass of water, that counts. If you're doing a pure broth, meat broth, that counts. If you're doing kefir or if you're on low carb, high fat and you're doing grass fed raw milk, that does not count. No, that the sugar is going to cancel out the ability to hydrate the cells. And that leaves teas. And like I said, you have to be careful with teas. Do loose leave instead of tea bags. Tea bags have mold on them. Coffee is just a diuretic. A lot of the teas are diuretics. You're losing everything. You're not hydrating yourself. So you actually have to be very careful by drinking teas constantly because you want something tasty. Some people will do like the lemon and the mineral water, and try to get like the Sprite taste. But I really think that you should be drinking water if you're having an electrolyte imbalance. Now, most of you are having that. You're having dehydration. You guys are thirsty all the time, or you're peeing all the time, don't realize it. Muscle cramps, day twitches, muscle cramps in the day, calf cramps in the day, rib, yes, rib cramps. Calf cramps at night. All of these are signs of fluid loss, dehydration. Constipation is another sign that you might be needing, to drink more water. A lot of you guys are not keeping up with the water that you need to stay hydrated on anything that's low carb like keto or carnivore. Now, you guys know I did a video about using Celtic salt, and everybody's wondering if I'm copying that woman from Australia. I am not. I didn't even know she did a video on Celtic salt. It's just really, with clients, trial and error on myself, that this actually is lower sodium than like a Redmond's or a Himalayan. It's clumpy because of the water count. So it literally has less sodium, which means that you can take a little bit more than a teaspoon, which is the allotment to be hydrated throughout the day. Now, what I'll do is I'll take a pinch on, like, it's July right now, so actually Tennessee's been pretty amazing with the weather. Ooh, that's a fly. Burn, baby, burn. Disco Inferno. I got that bug zapper. That stuff really works. I decided to do the chemical testing. I watched a video of somebody using It smells like burnt fly. Irish soap to keep flies away because I'll be working one little opening of the door of my RV camper. Yes, I live in an RV camper until I get my house built. And someone said, "Oh, you just put a little like Irish Spring and they are gone." And it kind of works. So I got it right here for now to keep the flies away, or else they'll be like "Bzzz" in this video. Okay, now I'm gonna continue. If you're sweating all the time, y'all need to think about the sodium, potassium, magnesium, and of course, water. And I really like that. I did a video on all the breakdown of the minerals that is in Celtic. And one thing I really love is the fact that there's a pretty decent amount of magnesium in it, right? So for taking in magnesium, what they say that works better, but I do both, which is to go and put it under your tongue, right? You're going to put some under your tongue. And then take a shot. And then apparently you're able to absorb the potassium and the magnesium. And those are the two out of three that is like so important when you're doing a carnivore diet or a ketogenic diet. Now, the quality, these plastic bottles, we need to get into it because it's almost like a 3-part video. In fact, I think we're going to do a second part 2. Stay tuned for the part 2 as I smell this burnt fly on the quality control of water bottles, contaminants in the water bottles, your tap water. And what's the bottle water to drink? Check out the next video because I realize I need to do a part 2. If you guys want to learn more, go to stephanieperson.com. Stephanie, the business person, on my Facebook fan page. If you guys want to sign up for a consultation, go to stephanieperson.com. I got your back. I got this. I've been just working with so many people over the years, so I'm the one that will clear it up if you're confused. Also, I'm working on the challenge information. It's looking like September 1st is going to be signups, starting with the signups September 1st. There's a fly. Come on. There's Irish Spring working. Stephanie Ketogenic on my Instagrammy. And go look at the next video, part 2, because I'm going to film them right now.